Hello everyone. Today, we are going to cover George Orwell's Animal Farm in a much more detailed way. An expanded summary that's long enough to feel like we truly walked through the whole story. On the surface, Animal Farm looks like a simple tale about animals taking over a farm. But underneath, it is a sharp and unsettling exploration of how revolutions begin with hope, how leadership can turn into control, how language can be twisted into propaganda, and how power can slowly reshape a society until the original dream becomes unrecognizable. Animal Farm begins in England, on a neglected property owned by Mr. Jones. Jones is not only careless, he is increasingly irresponsible. He drinks, he forgets, he delays feeding the animals, and he treats them as tools rather than living beings. The animals do nearly all the labor. They pull carts, produce milk and eggs, plow fields, and maintain the farm's productivity. Yet they live on the edge of hunger. Their lives are defined by exhaustion and uncertainty. When food arrives, it's never enough. When Jones is angry, punishment comes quickly. The animals are trapped in a life where they work endlessly, but the benefits of their work always go to someone else. One night, something changes. An old boar named Old Major calls the animals together in the big barn. He's respected and seen as wise, and the animals gather around him with curiosity and hope. Old Major speaks about the nature of their lives and the real reason they suffer. According to him, the enemy is not the weather or bad luck or even the limits of nature. The enemy is man. Humans do not produce, they consume. Humans do not create wealth, they take it. Old Major explains that everything the animals build through their labor is stolen by human hands. The animals are forced to work until they are too weak, then discarded. The hens are squeezed for eggs, the cows for milk, the horses for strength. Even the farm dogs meant to protect are fed only enough to remain obedient. Old Major's speech is more than a complaint. It becomes a vision. He tells the animals that a different world is possible, a world where animals own the farm, make decisions together, and keep the fruits of their labor. He describes this as a future free from whips, chains, hunger, and fear. And to seal the emotional power of his message, he teaches them a song, Beasts of England. The song becomes an anthem of unity, a symbol of their dream. When the animals sing it, they feel connected, and for the first time, they imagine that their suffering might not be permanent. At first, the revolution feels like a distant dream. But then Jones gets worse. One day, he neglects feeding the animals entirely. Hunger turns into rage. The animals cannot take it anymore. They break into the store shed where food is kept, and when Jones and his men try to stop them, the animals fight back. Jones is overwhelmed. He and his men flee the property. The animals have taken the farm. This is the moment the dream becomes real. The animals rename the property Animal Farm, wiping away the symbol of human ownership. They destroy tools of oppression, whips, harnesses, anything that represents the old system. The farm feels reborn. There's excitement, pride, and an almost sacred sense that history has turned a page. The pigs organize the new society and create a set of rules to protect the revolution's ideals. These rules are written on the wall as the 7 commandments. Among them are the core beliefs. Whatever goes upon 2 legs is an enemy. Whatever goes upon 4 legs or has wings is a friend. All animals are equal. No animal shall kill any other animal. No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. The commandments are meant to be permanent. Clear moral boundaries that prevent the farm from becoming like the human system they replaced. In the early days, life truly improves in some ways. The animals work hard, but they do it with a different spirit. They believe they are working for themselves now. They hold meetings. They discuss plans. They feel a kind of dignity that didn't exist under Jones. Yet even in the beginning, the seeds of inequality appear. A small but important event happens right away. When the cows are milked, the milk vanishes. Soon the animals realize the pigs have taken it. Not long after, the pigs also begin taking the apples. They justify it by saying that pigs need these foods to stay healthy because pigs do the thinking, planning, and organizing. If the pigs become weak, they argue, the entire revolution could collapse. And then comes the most powerful fear-based argument of all: Jones will come back. The animals, frightened by the idea of returning to their old misery, accept the explanation. This is a crucial moment because it shows how quickly equality can be compromised when leaders claim that their privilege is necessary for everyone. SO survival. Soon, the farm faces a real external threat. Jones gathers other men and attempts to reclaim the property. The animals defend themselves in what becomes known as the Battle of the Cowshed. Snowball plays a major role in the defense, showing courage and leadership. The animals win, and this victory strengthens their confidence. The revolution now has proof that it can survive, but the battle also gives the pigs an excuse to increase their authority. The farm must remain disciplined and organized, they say, because enemies exist. As time passes, tensions between Snowball and Napoleon intensify. They disagree constantly, especially over the future direction of the farm. Snowball is full of plans: committees for education, training programs, strategies to improve production. His greatest idea is the construction of a windmill. Snowball claims the windmill will generate power, reduce the animals' workload, and create a better life for everyone. It becomes a symbol of progress and hope. This is the turning point where Animal Farm stops being a collective experiment and becomes a dictatorship. Napoleon ends democratic meetings. Decisions will no longer be debated openly. Instead, a small group of pigs will make decisions in private, and the animals will simply be informed. Napoleon claims this is more efficient and safer. Again, he uses fear. Fear of humans, fear of chaos, fear of failure, to justify the shift. To maintain control, Napoleon needs more than dogs. He needs the animals to accept his narrative. That's where Squealer becomes essential. Squealer is a master of manipulation. He speaks in complicated phrases, cites numbers, and twists facts to make Napoleon appear wise and necessary. When animals feel uncertain, Squealer accuses them, indirectly, of doubting the revolution. Whenever doubt spreads, Squealer brings the conversation back to one terrifying possibility. Do you want Jones to return? Over time, this question becomes a tool to silence criticism. Something else begins happening too. History is rewritten. Snowball, once celebrated as a hero, is gradually transformed into a villain. At first, Squealer suggests Snowball may have made mistakes. Then Snowball is labeled a traitor. Eventually, Squealer claims Snowball was secretly working with Jones from the very beginning. The animals are confused because many remember Snowball's bravery, but their memories are fragile. Most of them cannot read, and even those who can struggle to verify information. When they question the story, Squealer overwhelms them with proof, statistics, or emotional pressure. Napoleon then announces a stunning reversal. The windmill will be built after all. The animals are surprised. Napoleon opposed it before, but now he claims it was his idea all along. This is another key moment. The leader not only changes policy, but also claims ownership of the future, rewriting the past to match his present interests. But then something even more disturbing happens. The commandments on the wall begin to change. The animals can't quite believe their eyes, but many cannot read well enough to be sure. The rule, "No animal shall kill any other animal," is now written as, "No animal shall kill any other animal without cause." The meaning shifts completely. The pigs present executions as necessary, and the rules are adjusted to legalize whatever the leadership already did. Orwell's message here is direct. If those in power control language, they can control reality. Over time, the pigs continue adopting human behaviors. They move into the farmhouse, they sleep in beds. The commandments are adjusted again to allow it. They drink alcohol. The rules shift again. They begin trading with humans regularly. The farm starts looking less like a revolutionary society and more like a state run by a privileged elite. Yet the pigs insist that everything they do is for the good of the farm. The other animals, meanwhile, become more exhausted and less hopeful. Their education never advances, and most of them remain unable to read complex texts. They rely on what they are told. And what they are told is always shaped by propaganda. Reality becomes blurry. The past becomes uncertain. The present becomes normalized, no matter how harsh it is. the most heartbreaking moment comes with Boxer. After years of sacrifice, Boxer's body finally breaks down. He collapses, too weak to work. The animals believe Boxer will be cared for and allowed to retire in peace. They assume the farm will finally honor the one animal who gave everything. Instead, Napoleon sells Boxer to a knacker, a slaughterer who turns animals into glue and other products. Boxer is literally converted into profit. When the animals notice the wagon carrying Boxer away has a sign connected to animal slaughter, they panic, they scream, they try to save him, but it's too late. Boxer is gone, and Squealer steps in once again to rewrite the truth. He claims Boxer was sent to a hospital and that the wagon was simply reused and had old writing on it. He tells the animals Boxer died peacefully, praising Napoleon with his final breath. It is a complete lie. And the lie is not only accepted, it becomes officially true in the farm's reality, because the animals have no power to challenge it. Soon after, the pigs acquire more luxuries. They celebrate, they drink. Boxer's fate becomes a quiet shadow over the farm, but the animals are too fearful and too broken to resist. In the final scenes, the transformation is complete. The pigs begin walking on two legs. This violates the original identity of Animal Farm. The animals are stunned because one of the earliest beliefs was that two-legged creatures were enemies. Now the pigs are becoming exactly what they once condemned. The sheep, trained to repeat slogans, chant support for the new reality. And then the final, ultimate rewriting occurs. The 7 commandments disappear. They are replaced by a single sentence. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. It is the perfect expression of hypocrisy, using the language of equality to justify inequality. The animals look through the window into the farmhouse. They see pigs and humans sitting together, drinking, laughing, negotiating. The pigs are no longer separate from humans, they are partners. The animals watch carefully, trying to understand what happened to their dream. And in the final line of meaning, Orwell reveals the end result. The animals can no longer tell who is pig and who is man. The distinction has vanished. The revolution that began by overthrowing oppression has recreated oppression in a new form. The core message of Animal Farm is devastating and clear. A revolution can begin with sincere hopes of equality. But if power concentrates in the hands of a few, it can corrupt those ideals completely. Propaganda can turn lies into truth, fear can silence disagreement, and language can be manipulated until even morality is rewritten. In the end, those who rise in the name of equality may become indistinguishable from the oppressors they replaced. If you want, I can also adapt this into a full YouTube voiceover script with pacing notes, pauses, emphasis, transitions, and a stronger ending that includes a call to action for likes, subscriptions, and a comment question tailored to your audience.